bring all of you greetings and blessings as the Claretian communities are celebrating 175th year of their existence. We really thank God for all of you, and it is a moment of joy for the whole of the Universal Church to celebrate with you. I'm sure your great founders and many other followers, the benefactors and the donors will be happy to hear that your congregation, friars, the brothers, sisters who are connected are doing so well in many parts of Sri Lanka. So I thank God together with you once again and continue to bless all of you, and also assure you that we accompany you. We will continue to support you in the advocacy and the accompaniment. So be not afraid. Go out to the whole world. Go out to all other corners of Sri Lanka and give your services. I also bless the seminarians that there will be many more occasions to follow you, and that your congregation will be one of the leading congregations in Sri Lanka. God bless all of you, and may bless you in turn, the people of Sri Lanka.
"175 years ago, in a small seminary room in Spain, our holy founder said, 'Today we begin a great work.' Thus saying, he founded our congregation together with 5 others. When our founder said, 'Today we begin a great work,' one of the co-founders immediately asked, 'How great can it be? We are so young and so few.' Our founder said immediately, 'You will see.' This was the hope that our founder had. Today, as Claretians, we are present and are ministering in over 70 countries, doing great things at the service of the gospel. And in this small video, we are going to see how our delegation in Sri Lanka and our missionaries elsewhere are fulfilling the great dream our founder had, and how we have become part of this 175 years of history. I am sure the spirit of our founder is behind us and with us, impelling us to do great things in the name of Jesus. So let us give thanks to God for all the great things God has done through us to the people of God. Thank you, and God bless you.
Every historical movement has its main authors and protagonists. They have existed also in the history of the Claretian movement in Sri Lanka. The idea of having vocations from Sri Lanka originated first in the mind of our beloved the Reverend Father Francis Xavier Dernberger.
In 1976, Reverend Father Francis Xavier Dernberger, inspired by the universal outlook of Reverend Father Peter Schweiger, the Superior General of the Claretian congregation, envisioned a Claretian presence in Sri Lanka. Father Dernberger connected with 2 Sri Lankan nuns, Sister Mary Angelina and Sister Ida from the congregation of the Holy Family of Bordeaux, who were attending a spirituality course in Bangalore.
And when Father Dernberger met them, his dream woke up, and he told the sisters, "Why don't you send candidates to India to become Claretians from Sri Lanka?"
In April 1978, Father Syriac Nyayarkulam, assisting his brother Father Matthew in Tamil Nadu, made the first visit to Jaffna, Sri Lanka. He was hosted by late Reverend Dr. Diagupillai, the Bishop of Jaffna, who approved the recruitment of candidates for the Claretian congregation.
When I was sent in 1978 to Jaffna to get the initial contacts, and that consisted in getting first and foremost the blessing and approval of the then Bishop of Jaffna, Bishop V. Diogupillai, who was also the maternal uncle of Sister Angelina. And with the help of Sister Angelina and the Cathedral Parish priest, Father Selvaraja, we could get the first candidates from 1979 onward.
In July 1979, the first batch of 4 candidates from Sri Lanka arrived at Claretian in Karumattur, Tamil Nadu, India. They were warmly welcomed by Father Matthew Nyarkulam.
We could welcome the first candidates in 1979 itself to Karumattur, and then some 15 more candidates came to India for their initial studies.
Yeah, I was in the second batch from Sri Lanka, was sent to India for our initial formation.
Then they went to novitiate, also philosophy in Karumattur, and for theology to Bangalore, Malleshwaram, and then they had to be shifted to the Philippines for their further studies.
And once we completed the formation, and we had to break our studies in India because of some visa issues. So we went to Philippines to continue our theological studies and came back and started our congregation here in Sri Lanka 1991.
When we started the congregation in Sri Lanka in 1991, we were invited to many places to preach, to do mission preaching, for various apostolates. And in all these apostolates, our aim was that we have to start also sharing our charism with young people in Sri Lanka.
In 1984, Reverend Father Alois Ornung, the provincial superior of Germany, visited Jaffna and purchased a spacious house in Chundikuli with hopes of establishing a Claretian foundation.
Although a house was purchased already in Jaffna, that house could not be made use of for our community because of the existing civil war. And the first community was started at Pelisara Ragama near Colombo.
They encountered the first group of priests coming to St. Philip Mary's Beta from Ragama.
And in 1992, a Claretian was sought after from India to help in building up this community.
In 1984, the Indo-Sri Lankan delegation was formed, integrating Tamil-speaking Claretian from Tamil Nadu and members from Sri Lanka. And Father Francis Xavier Dinberger became the delegate superior of the Indo-Sri Lanka delegation. In 1987, due to the worsening political situation in Sri Lanka, theology students from Sri Lanka were sent to study in Philippines at Casa Claret in Quezon City.
The ordinations and initial ministries.
In 1991, Alfred M. Kirvanandan was the first Claretian ordained as a priest on May 10, 1991 at Vellavath by late Reverend Dr. Oswald Gomez, Auxiliary Bishop of Colombo. Paul Rex Constantine ordained on July 30, 1991 at Jaffna Cathedral by Bishop Thomas Sundaranayagam. In 1992, Father Joseph Callistus ordained on May 16 at Hatton Church by Bishop Joseph Vianney Fernando of Kandy. For Rogan Dominic ordained on July 28, 1992 at Jaffna Cathedral by Bishop Thomas Sundaranayagam. In 1991, despite the civil war, the Claretian persisted. 3 students were studying at National Seminary, Ampitia. In 1992, a new house was purchased at Velisar Ragama and the first official Claretian community in Sri Lanka was established. The house was blessed on October 24, 1992 by Archbishop Nicholas Marcus Fernando of Colombo. Father Syriac Nyarkulam, Father Alfred Kirvanandan and student Montfort Francis formed the first community.
And the help of the fathers who are already ordained and were working in Sri Lanka, with their help we could get candidates, and then the minor seminary was started in Ragama Velisara.
We started with 8 people in 1994 in Ragama, our first formation program, and we were aware that we are not going to be there too long because we were looking for a place in Kandy where the next stages of formation was also possible in Sri Lanka. So our formation program started with the help of other missionary congregations who also generously accommodated our brothers and helped them to go through a missionary formation.
Then we started the house in our scholasticate and our formation house at Gurudeniya, Kandy, and then Novitiate House in 1997 at Fusimania in Ambitiya, Kandy, and then Minor Seminary in 1999 in Kattuwa near Nigambu.
So the formation is aimed at missionary life.
And so the different formation stages were set up. One struggle was that we had no candidates from the singular stream, and it took for us some years to get also candidates from singular stream, and also their perseverance was then there, and so our development started.
The Claretians continue their unwavering mission to serve and uplift communities. Their dedication is seen in every corner, from providing education and healthcare to advocating for peace and justice.
Varod is known as Vani Rehabilitation Organization for the Differently Abled, is a charitable and non-profitable organization which was established by the Claretian Missionaries in order to support the displaced and affected victims during the last civil war.
நான் சிஸ்டர் செல்வராணி கவியாஸ் திருக்குடும்ப சபையை சேர்ந்த கிளரிஷியன் அருட்தந்தையர்களோடு நான் இணைந்து பணியாற்றிக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன். இவர்களோடு சேர்ந்து பணியாற்றுவதில் நான் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன்.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பேர் மிஷேந்திரி. நான் இந்த வரோட் அமையத்தில் ஒரு பிளே தெரபிஸ்டாக வேலை செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கேன்.
இங்கே எங்களுடைய சகோதரிகள் 15 வருட காலமாக பணியாற்றி கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள்.
கிளாரேஷன் சபையில் இருக்கிற அந்த அருள் தந்தைகளோடையும் ஒர்க் பண்ணும்போது தான் எனக்கு எப்படி இந்த அமைப்பு இந்த மாதிரி பிள்ளைகளுக்கு போராடி அவங்களோட அந்த சமூகத்துல இந்த ஒதுக்கப்பட்டிருக்க அந்த பிள்ளைகளுக்கு அவங்களுடைய உரிமையை பெற்றுக்கொள்றதுக்காக எப்படி போராடுறாங்க அப்படின்ற விஷயமே விளங்குச்சு.
இந்த இடத்துல ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட கிறிஸ்தவர்களுக்கு மாத்திரமல்ல, எல்லா மதத்தினருக்கும் எல்லா கலாச்சாரத்தில் உள்ளவர்களுக்கும் சிறியவர்களுக்கு மட்டுமல்ல பெரியவர்களும் கூட இங்கே உள்வாங்கப்படுகின்றார்கள். எங்களுடைய திருச்சபையில் இன்று பேசப்படுகின்ற கூட்ட ஒருங்கிய தன்மைக்கு ஏற்ப அனைவருமே உள்வாங்கப்படுகின்ற ஒரு பணியாக இது இருக்கின்றது.
நான் இந்த வரையில் நான் தனியே இந்த வேலையை கூட செய்ய மாட்டேன், அப்படி ஒரு வேலையில நான் வந்துடுறேன். இப்போ நான் எங்கே போனாலும் நான் தனியே என்னையே பார்த்து கொள்ளக்கூடிய மாதிரி நான் என்ன வளர்த்துருக்கேன். அதுக்கு வரதான் முக்கிய காரணம்.
இந்த பணியில் கூடுதலாக மனிதம் மதிக்கப்படுகின்றது, மனித மாண்பு பேணப்படுகின்றது.
இந்த மாதிரி பிள்ளைகளுக்கு இன்னொன்று சமூகத்தில் இருக்கிற இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற எல்லா பிள்ளைகளுக்கு இந்த கிளாரேஷன் சபை இன்னும் உதவி செஞ்சு அவங்க இன்னும் மென்மேலும் எல்லாருக்கும் உதவி செய்யணும்னு சொல்லி வாழ்த்தி நன்றி.
Our fathers also were involved in parish apostolate. 1991 already our fathers were in the parishes, and then we could take up also a parish, mission parish in the diocese of Padul.
First of all, I met Father Joseph Callister, who was assistant parish priest in our parish church. Gradually, they were working in our parish. Fathers, I can remember Father Rex Constantine, Father Arulraj, Father Francis, and this priest. So I was taken up by their lives, how they move with the people and how they cater to the youth, and it was a golden era, I would say, in my parish, that we saw a lot of revival in the parish.
ஆழமில்லா ஆடுகள் போல் இருந்த வேளையில் கிளரிஷியன் துறவர சபை பொறுப்பெடுத்து மருசூமி கல்லுள்ள அன்னம்மாள் ஆலயத்தை பங்கு தளமாக பணி தொடர்ந்தார்கள். வீடுகளுக்கு சென்று மக்களை தரிசித்து ஆன்மீக ரீதியாக வழிநடத்தி மறைவாய்ப்புகள், பாலர் பாடசாலைகள், இள யுவதிகளுக்கு தையல் வகுப்புகள், இன்னும் பாடசாலை மாணவர்களுக்கு மேலதிக வகுப்புகள் அனைத்தையும் செய்தார்கள்.
මං හිතනවා ක්ලරිෂ්‍යානු නිකාය ජනතාවට සේවය කරන්න සැදී පැහැදී ඉන්න පියතුමාලා වගේක් තමයි මම හිතන්නේ.
And then initially we were 7-9 fathers were running many apostolate, and so we had to carry many responsibilities for every person.
Also, I remember when Father Syria came from India, and when that beginning was very small, and how the pioneers worked very hard, prayed heroically, worked and also suffered.
And in my diocese, they chose one of the most difficult missions because there are so many vulnerable plantation workers, and in El Salvador, Selvakanda was their first tent in the Diocese of Goa and helped us most importantly on education and in going around the people, in uplifting them in their social life, and in particular also helping the vulnerable women and children. And many of our diocesan clergy and many other religious communities who serve in my diocese do appreciate this particular challenging task taken by the Claretian community.
We, the Claretian Missionary Sisters, begin our vocational journey starting with the help and the support of the Claretian Fathers in Sri Lanka. In many places, we work in collaborations in all the parish pastoral activities with the Claretian Fathers. It is a very enriching experiences, and we are grateful to them. As a Claretian family, we are able to do this shared mission in the church and in the world. I am happy to say that Claretian Fathers are inspirations for our vocational journey and support to follow the footsteps of Christ as a Claretian Sisters.
As we look back these 30 years and 35 years, our presence here in Sri Lanka.
We have 46 priests, 1 brother, 7 perpetually professed students, 14 students in temporary vows of 3 novices, 10 postulants doing philosophy in India.
We have 6 houses and 2 residences.
Missionary priority of the delegation. Formation of missionaries. Word of God biblical and preaching. The publication ministry. Solidarity and Mission SOMI formation of laity and youth.
Media and communication. Working with the differently abled people variety. Parish apostolate. Education. Psychosocial programs Classica. The Addiction Ministry.
We also joyfully contribute missionaries for the universal mission of the congregation.
We have established the Claretian Presence mission in the land of South Sudan.
And I would say now we have grown up, and we are still extending our presence to different dioceses, and people really appreciate and accept and acknowledge our mission, whatever that we do for the betterment of the people and for the further development.
I admire their mission and I appreciate their mission, and I thank wholeheartedly for all what they have been to me in my life personally. Thank you very much.
And I pray that God will help congregation of the Missionary Sons of the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
සුබ පතනවා ක්ලරිෂ්‍යානු නිකායේ සියලුම පියතුමාලටත් සහෝදරතුමාටත්.
இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற எங்க பிள்ளைகளுக்கு உதவி செய்யற கிளாரிசியன் சபைக்கு எங்க நன்றியை தெரிவிக்கிறோம்.
நாங்கள் கிளாரிசியன் சபையை வாழ்த்துகின்றோம்.
And also assure my prayers that this particular mission in the footsteps of Saint Anthony Mary Claret may bear much fruit in the coming years.
Thank you.
நன்றி வணக்கம்.
Thank you and stay blessed. Congratulations.
Let us thank God for this good development and also pray that a steady and beautiful development may proceed, may progress also later on in Sri Lanka. Thank you.